All right. Hey, everybody. All right. So, what I want to talk about today is self. Can y'all see me if I do this? Can y'all still see me? Yes? Oh, shoot. I can't see you. Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. I had some notes I had taken, so I want to look at them. Self discipline in a world full of distraction. I feel like this day and age now, more than ever. I mean, this is completely true, and y'all know that we have distractions left and right. I mean, it's with social media and Facebook, Instagram. It's just literally in our face 24/7, and we carry around this, device that's just it's awesome because it keeps us connected to the rest of the world, but it's also one big distraction. And so, I feel like that's what's distract people. People not having self discipline in their life is really one thing that really prevents a lot of people from becoming successful because I mean, if you don't have self discipline, then you can't be successful in anything. I mean, you can't be successful in parenting if you don't have help your kids with self discipline. And, I was thinking about like we're going through a hard time with one of our children right now. He's struggling so badly with a lot of things. And I just had to really, he doesn't really want to go to school right now. Just started a new school and he's going through a hard time in the midst of not just a new school, but an injury. And he just keeps, being upset, doesn't want to go to school, and has all the good reasons why not. He doesn't want to go to school, but Eric and I as parents just have to keep reminding him, like, this is what we do. Like, you go to school and this is how you learn, and this is good for, it's going to be, you're going to get through this, and we're going to help support you in the way to get through this. But we're having to help teach our kids, and not even just in school, but around the house, with chores, like pick up after yourself. Don't just throw that on the floor. Take that and go put it in the trash can. Whatever. I mean, I know some people have older children, but when they were little, you had to teach them to do things and to have self-discipline, to pick up after themselves and to wash their body, brush their teeth. And it's all self-discipline. And so what I see sometimes with people in their business is, I don't want to use this word, but I won't use that word because it's not very nice. I mean, I don't know how to word it without, I don't want to offend anybody, but I'm just going to say it. So what I see so often with so many people is it's almost like hypocritical, right? Like we sit here and we're on our children about them being self-disciplined and them going to school and doing all the work, them brushing their teeth, them getting themselves ready, them doing their chores. We're trying to be on our children or grandchildren or whatnot about self-discipline. Discipline yourself. Just discipline yourself. Why can't you just do this? Yeah, we're not even, some of us aren't even disciplined well in our businesses or things that we call our business, and we don't treat it with really respect because we haven't disciplined ourselves to work when we said we were going to work. We said, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to work my business this many hours a week. This is what I want to do. And you can't control the outcome of that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we have to discipline ourselves just like we tell our children and grandchildren to discipline themselves. And so I just feel like let's be an example of self-discipline to our children or grandchildren or people around you, even if you don't have kids. Let's be an example of what self-discipline looks like. Like I tell Owen, my son, I say, Owen, I don't really feel like getting up early every day. I don't feel like wiping poopy butts every day. I don't feel like doing a lot of the things that I do every day. Just because we don't feel like doing something doesn't mean we don't go ahead and do it anyway, right? And you all know this. I mean, I'm these aren't things that you guys don't already know, but I just feel like in our businesses, I've seen so often people, I'm not thinking of anybody specifically, but just over the years, what I've just seen, and even in myself at different times. So I'm not saying that I'm perfect in this, y'all. I'm speaking to myself just as much as I'm speaking to you all. I hope you all know that. But what I've seen over the years is people are like, they want to hit this rank or make this much money a month because it would really help their families or vacations or get out of debt or whatnot. But they just go with their feelings. They just, oh, well, I don't feel like teaching a class today. I don't feel like reaching out to these people today. Oh, I'm kind of down. I'm kind of just sad and anxious. And I just think I'm just going to sit back and wait until these feelings pass before I do anything in my business. I mean, what if we told our kids that? Oh, you can just stay at home until you feel like going to school. Oh, don't worry about doing your homework or your chores. I've got them. Like, you just, maybe in a month you'll feel better. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, does this make sense? Like, we have got to have self-discipline to do the things that we don't feel like doing. Like, I don't always feel like preparing for a call. Like, I love talking to you all. I could get on here and talk to y'all all day long, but there's some prep work that goes into it, right? Like, and my kid's going through a hard time right now, and there's things that I need to be doing, but I don't always feel like teaching a class. I can't tell you how many times I have getting ready to walk out of the house to go teach a class somewhere, and I'm like telling my husband, like, oh, I don't really want to do this, I'm tired. And rightfully so. My baby was up all night. I mean, I had a reason to be tired, and I had a reason, maybe an excuse to dip out of the class. But no, I said I was going to do it. This is what's going to help my business. This is actually what's going to help my business for years to come. I'm going to do it. And I'm telling you, every single time I teach that class, and I'm actually on a high afterwards, I'm like, that felt so good. Like, if I would have went with my feelings, I wouldn't have been able to help people at that class. I wouldn't have been able to give people hope. I wouldn't have been able to see so many people sharing testimonies at a class or after the class of how the oils have helped them. Because if I would have went with my feelings, that would have showed that I'm all about myself and being selfish and care about my feelings and what I feel like doing in this world sometimes. And sometimes we're called to stop being all about ourselves and go serve somebody else, right? Like, it's just being others focused. And so it's really about scheduling your time out. How many hours are you going to allot yourself to work your doTERRA business, and then disciplining yourself to do the thing that you need to do, that you said you were going to do, even when you don't feel like it. And so say you don't feel like scheduling classes for next month. Well, do it anyway. Like, I just can't reiterate enough that we cannot live our life by our feelings, because we will literally run our life down to destruction. We will end up discouraged and depressed, in debt, and have a hard time making it in any area of our life if we live our life by our feelings. So self-discipline is disciplining yourself that when you don't feel like doing something, you just go ahead. That means you very, very well better do it anyway, right? So I'm going to give you all the actual definition of self-discipline. The ability to control one's feelings and overcome one's weaknesses. The ability to pursue what one thinks is right, despite temptations to abandon it. So there's always going to be temptations to abandon your to-do list. There's always going to be temptations to abandon not scheduling those classes or teaching those classes. There's always going to be temptations to give up. There's always going to be those temptations. Like, they're always going to be there. There's not always going to be somebody cheering you on. I mean, of course, you know that we are cheering you on here in the background, but there's not going to be somebody by your side in your house. Like, you're your own boss now in your business. So you're not going to have somebody being like, come on, wake up, get out of bed, time for school, time for work. Like, you're not going to have that. You have to discipline yourself to be that person for yourself. I don't like getting up right now. I'm getting up at 5 something in the morning. I don't like getting up that early. I'm like, oh my gosh, when the alarm goes off, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. But I'm doing it because I know that what I'm doing from 5 to when my kids get up or so forth, and that's not when I work out either way. That's really when I'm investing in my heart and soul and truth. I know my life will be crappy the rest of my life if I don't invest that time getting truth into my heart and my mind, renewing my mind in truth. I just know that I will have a bad attitude if I don't do it. And I will be a crappy wife and mom if I don't do it. So again, this is not going with your feelings, but it's resisting the temptation and doing what you said you were going to do anyway. So the greatest struggle is always within ourselves. There's going to be this battle fighting against you and what you're called to do, what you've decided to do. There's always going to be a battle. And so especially with new people, if you guys can encourage your teams, you guys may already know all of this, but what about your new builders? Do they know not to listen to their feelings? That you're like, there's just like this, there's this wave going out there online, like, just feel your feelings, follow your heart, do this. Sometimes your heart's going to lead you astray. So maybe don't always follow your heart. Sometimes your heart's going to say, oh, just sit back and relax for 2 months and take a break. And I'm not saying don't take breaks. I'm not saying that, y'all. You need to rest, especially Sunday. Sunday's a great day to rest. Just don't do any work on Sunday. How about that? But have your times of rest. I'm not saying work yourself to death. But I'm saying is sometimes if you listen to our feelings, your feelings will run you right down into depression. So that's what I'm saying is don't just follow your feelings. And the struggle will be within yourself. I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you all. I have not shared a ton on social media about this. Our family is going through the hardest season of our entire lives right now. And I'm going to try not to cry. We are going through the hardest season of our life right now. And watching your baby struggle, my baby's struggling, I'm sorry, is the hardest thing I've ever had to go through as a parent, to watch my baby struggle. And I haven't shared online all the things he's going through, but he's going through a lot right now. And according to the world, if I listen to my flesh, if I listen to my feelings, then I should be laying in bed all day right now, just living in depression with what's going on right now. But I'm not. I have to decide to go against the feelings. I'm not saying I shouldn't be hurting for him and all that things. I'm not saying any of that, y'all. So please know my heart in all of this. I'm just saying that I have to keep going on. I have to, honestly, whether you agree with me or not, I have to keep, this is my thing. I keep worshiping God, even through the storms of life, even through the bad times, because that's what we do. That's what you do when you want breakthrough. That's what you do no matter what. And so if I'm just saying I can't just listen to my feelings all the time, I have to stay in peace. My heart, I get to choose whether I keep my heart in peace and joy every day and thankfulness, because we may be going through some hard storms right now, but there's always something to be thankful for. And that's what I'm really focusing on with my son right now as he's going through a hard season in his life. I'm like, buddy, what are you thankful for right now? We've got 2 legs to walk. We've got 2 arms. We just write down a list of what we're thankful for. And so when I'm talking about disciplining yourself, sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent, y'all, but all I'm saying is that's what makes us not be self-disciplined is our feelings. And so I'm just giving examples, like even through hard times, we can still discipline ourselves to focus on what we have to be thankful for. We can still discipline ourselves to work and go serve people, even when we're going through hard times in our own life. And I'm not saying don't go get help for that. I'm surrounded by a group of people that are praying me through all this. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, if I listen to my feelings, it could go somewhere really, really bad and dark, but I'm not doing that. I choose not to. That would just be mine and my family's destruction if I went that route. And so with self-discipline, and you guys know this, I love y'all more than for your business. Like I care about your businesses. I am like praying and cheering you on in your businesses, but I want your home life to be great too. I want your heart and your mind and peace at all times too. So I want more for you than just your business. I want your family life to be great as well. And so you guys know that anything I'm sharing on here, yes, I hope it helps your business, but I hope it helps your family life and home life, because that's honestly, that is more important to me than even your business, because at the end of the day, we do life together, right? Even if we have to do it through a screen, I care about your children, your grandchildren, your spouse, I care about what you're going through, and I want your heart and mind at peace as well. So I hope, just if somebody needed that today, just like not letting your feelings master your life, let's just choose let's discipline ourselves to stay thankful too. All right, so back to the business part, guys. Sorry. So let's talk about self-discipline from a business standpoint, okay? So studies show that people with self-discipline are happier. People with a higher degree of self-control spend less time debating whether to indulge in behaviors that are detrimental to their health or their business, and that they're able to make positive decisions more easily. They don't let impulses or feelings dictate their choices. I love that. So let's be a group of women and men that don't let impulses or our feelings dictate our choices for that day or week or month. Instead, let's make level-headed decisions. As a result, they tend to feel more satisfied with their lives. So what to do? Here's like let's see how many points I have. I think it's like 5 or 6 points. So here's what you can do to help be more disciplined in your doTERRA business. All right, let's do know your weaknesses. So we all have strengths and we all have weaknesses, but it's just like with eating, like self-discipline with eating healthy. If your weakness is sugar and sweets and ice cream and cookies, well then you know that you need to know, like, oh, that's my weakness. I should do something about that, because that's an area that I have a hard time saying no to. So maybe ask yourself, and if it helps to write this down, to journal it right now, I would write this down. What is your weakness in your working your doTERRA business? Is your weakness Facebook notifications, Instagram notifications? Is it comparing yourself to other people on this team or on other teams? So and maybe write that down. What is the weakness? Then give yourself 30 minutes a day. I would do the same time every day to do just that, so that you don't do it anymore. Okay, so know your weaknesses is number 1, and number 2 is remove your temptations. But to know your weaknesses, so say it's scrolling on Facebook or Instagram, because that's what this day and age is, a huge distraction to all of us. So how about you give yourself, I don't know, 30 minutes? Is that enough time for you guys? 30 minutes? I mean, 30 minutes goes fast, but it's also a long time. What if you gave yourself 30 minutes? Okay, how about this? Split it up. 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the evening to scroll Facebook and Instagram, if that's what you need. I would do 15 and 15 if I were you, so you could be more productive with your time, spend more time with people in person. But what if you did 15, gave yourself, make up whatever number for you guys, 15 minutes in the morning to scroll and 15 minutes in the evening. But it needs to be the same time every day, because what happens is you're just going to get on your phone in the middle of the day and be like, oh, well, I feel like scrolling right now. So even though so I'm just going to use 5 minutes this morning and 10 minutes here. Just don't do that. Just decide this time every day, whether it's 6:30 in the morning, 7 a.m., I'm going to scroll Instagram and Facebook, 9 p.m. at night. Just make the same time every day your scrolling time. If you've got to get that scrolling in, I mean, I recommend cutting scrolling out, but if you've got to get it in because you're addicted, then set a time. And then what you need to do is set a timer on your phone with the 15 minutes. And as soon as the timer goes off, you're done scrolling. I'm just saying, for people that are, I know that sounds crazy, but if you're truly addicted to scrolling, you need to set a time. Because if that's what's pulling you away from doing your work hours, or while you're sitting down to work, okay, I know I need to go reach out to this person. I wonder if she'll host a class for me. Oh, Facebook. Oh, what is she doing? Oh, wow. Her life looks awesome. She's at the beach right now. I'm jealous. Why can't I be at the beach right now? Oh man, I'm sad now. I don't even want to reach out to this person anymore because I want to be at the beach. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally this stuff happens. And so this can be a distraction when you're trying to do your work hours. It's actually like we self-sabotage. It's like sabotaging ourselves when we're trying to actually get work done. Follow up with people, reach out and schedule membership overview. Just schedule an online class that you're going to do. Educate your customers online. Maybe you should be doing that. But you're instead sitting here, started comparing. Oh, shoot. Dang, I feel really insecure now. She's gorgeous. Why don't I have those eyebrows? Man, are those lashes real? I can't go live now. I can't do it. Like, I mean, these people are beautiful. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know it's funny, but it's like, we do that. We have these thoughts in our head like, well, I don't look like her. Better not go live. All right. So those are just some examples. All right. So let's move on to the next one. All right. Ask yourself, what is one thing that prevents me from getting work done during the hours I have set aside to do work? Write that down right now. What is one thing that stops you from doing your doTERRA work on the hours that you set aside to do your work? And if you don't have doTERRA hours set aside, then you need to get with your spouse or significant other, and you need to make sure that the expectations are clear and schedule those hours right now. Okay, these are the hours where you've got the kids and I'm going to do my doTERRA business. Or these are the hours that I have a babysitter and I'm going to do my work on my doTERRA business. So if you don't have work hours set aside for your doTERRA business, you need to meet with your spouse or whatever, or yourself, and just go ahead and schedule that right now after this call. I want you all to do that. That's your homework if you don't have hours yet. Because if you don't discipline yourself to work during your work hours, then how are you going to get results in your doTERRA business, right? So self-discipline is not trying to work all the time when the kids are crazy. Blah, blah, blah. I've got 3 little ones. It is chaos when they're all home. There's no way. I mean, I would just be a ball of stress when I try to work when they're all home. It's just madness. So I have to, we've got, a sitter come some days for the baby. The 2 boys are in school now. I can breathe. Okay, now I can focus on my doTERRA work. So all I'm saying is, if you've got to swap babysitters, maybe you don't have the money right now for a babysitter, swap with another mom. I'll take your kids this day for 2 hours and you take my kids that day. There's a free way of doing it is what I'm trying to say. All right, let's move on. Number 2, remove your temptations. Remove the apps. If you need to remove Facebook and Instagram from your phone, or maybe you're like me, or maybe what you need to do is just move them not to your front screen, but maybe you need to move Facebook and Instagram to your second screen. That way when you look at your phone, all the notifications, even though you turn your notifications off, the sound off, you don't want to see all those red flags, go off. So number 1 is take the notifications off. If you've ever sent me a Facebook message, you just know I don't check Facebook messages. People on the doTERRA team get upset with me all the time. I'm like, sorry, I don't check them because I get a million. Like, it would be a full-time job for me to check my Facebook messages. So I don't get a ding every time I get a Facebook messages. That would drive me crazy because I get so many every day of my life. So take your dingers off of Facebook and Instagram, the sound off, because it's going to make you pull you back to this instead of working. And if you need to, if you're really that addicted, move your Facebook and Instagram apps to the second screen so that you don't see it all the time. Okay, so remove the temptations. Silence your phone. So silence your phone. oops, sorry. Whenever you're on your phone, turn it to do not disturb. On my iPhone, it's the little moon sign. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, on the iPhone, it's the little moon sign. Do not disturb. During your work hours, turn your phone off. You'll get a whole lot more done, I promise you. If you're saying, well, I work on my phone, I'm working on my phone, well, maybe still turn it off and work on your phone. That way you're not getting text messages and phone calls while you're working to post education on your social media apps. You can still turn off text and phone calls. Do not disturb. Y'all, it's an hour or 2 hours. Nobody is going to need you in an hour or 2 hours of time. You can do this. Oh, what if my kid's school calls? Well, they'll call your husband. I don't know. Like, I mean, it'll be okay. I promise. Okay. Number 3, set clear goals and have an execution plan. Set clear goals and have an execution plan. If you hope to achieve self-discipline, you must have a clear vision of what you hope to accomplish. You must also have an understanding of what success means to you. After all, if you don't know where you're going, it's easy to lose your way or get sidetracked. So if you're sitting here today, do you have a clear vision of what you hope to accomplish? And do you have an understanding of what that success means to you? Like, what does an extra $5,000 a month do for you? Like, do you really understand what that, you all know that we're not just in this for the money. It's what that money can do for you and your family. Does it provide more time for your family? Does it mean that you all can actually afford family vacations every year so you can spend more time together and create memories together? Whatever it is for you, what does that money do for you? What does that success do for you? And do you have a clear vision? Like, maybe you need to get a whiteboard in your bedroom or closet or office or whatever, and you need to have a clear vision of, okay, I need to give a presentation to this many people next month, because that will give me approximately this much volume so that I can hit this goal. So do you have a clear vision on how you're going to get there? Like, you can't just wait around and be like, I hope diamond happens to me, by me sitting around waiting for diamond to happen to me. Like, it just doesn't work that way. You have to have a clear vision on what is it that you want, and what is it going to take to get you from place A to place B? Like, what do you need to do to fill that gap? And a lot of it's personal development, because a lot of people have got to get over their own fears and fear of what other people think, and fear of failure and fear of success. So a lot of that is going to be personal development every single night. And then doing the action steps, presenting to classes, presenting to people, asking people to host for you, meeting new people everywhere you go. Maybe you just need to go make new friends and like network with people and join a new gym, go do a new workout class, a Bible study, a church, I don't know, whatever it is. Maybe you just need to go network with people and meet new people, because that's what I'm doing right now. Like, I've just shared oils with everybody I know. And so my goal right now is I'm going to network, and everybody I meet, eventually they're starting to come on board with me. Not everybody, but a lot of them. So all that to say is, do you have a vision on how you're going to get there? So maybe after this call, write yourself a note right now on your paper or in your phone and say, work on my vision on how I'm going to get there. All right, and so the next one is number 4 is build your self-discipline. We are not born with self-discipline. If you've ever had children, you know that kids are not born with self-discipline. Oh my gosh, they're not. It is a learned behavior. And just like any other skill you want to master, it requires daily practice and repetition. Just like going to the gym, willpower and self-discipline take a lot of work. The effort and focus that self-discipline requires, it can be draining. And so as time passes, it can become more and more difficult to keep your willpower in check. The bigger the temptation or decision, the more challenging it can feel to tackle other tasks that also require self-control. So work on building your self-discipline through daily diligence. And here, I'm not saying, whenever I share this, I'm not saying don't ever go have fun, but I've shared this with some of you guys before. When I first moved into the neighborhood that I live in now, it is the most sociable neighborhood you could live in. I'm telling you, people from California, Chicago, it's like everybody moves to Franklin to this neighborhood. It's like social butterfly on steroids. There's mom's night, dad's night, golf nights, adult pool nights, this night, that night, play date, left and right. And when I first moved to the neighborhood, I didn't have any friends here. And I wanted to network, right? So I literally went to so much stuff. And I'm not saying networking, we need to network, so it was good that I networked, but I literally got so caught up on being the social butterfly that I wasn't working on my doTERRA business as much here at home, doing the daily grind, right? And so I was almost overly networking, if that makes any sense. So you should still network, but there's a healthy balance too. So anyway, finally I got to the point where I got to start saying no to some of this fun stuff. So maybe you're in a season where maybe you need to stop saying no to every single fun thing coming your way, and you need to discipline yourself instead to work on your doTERRA business. So I've said no to a lot. I've said no to birthday parties because I wanted to do a business training for my team. So it's hard sometimes to say no to fun things because you want to do this business training. You want to go to convention or leadership. You're going to miss out on this or miss out on that. I've missed out on a lot because I've worked my doTERRA business, but dang, the time freedom that we have, that I'm able to walk through with my child as he's going through this difficult time, that my husband is at the school with my son right now, eating lunch with him because he was crying earlier. And like, that's just it's worth it to me. Like my family and what we're able to walk through our children with, and this freedom that we have is worth all those things that I missed with fun, having fun with other people. Again, go network, go have fun. I'm just saying, make it a healthy balance. And sometimes you're going to have to say no to the fun things. You're going to have to say no to some things in life now so that you can have a better life later. And that's going to take self-discipline. Number 5, change your perception about willpower. According to a study by Stanford University, the amount of willpower a person has is determined by their beliefs. If you believe you have a limited amount of willpower, you probably won't surpass those limits. So do you believe, like maybe you're sitting here thinking like, oh, I need help with self-discipline. Why do I suck at this? Well, it may be a problem with your belief. Maybe just change your belief level and just decide, I am choosing to have self-discipline in my life. I'm going to choose to have self-control, say no to some things, and actually do the things I don't feel like doing. So just decide to believe that you've got just as much as everybody else. It's just you have to exercise that out and make it a habit. So you have to believe that you have just as much willpower and self-discipline as me, as anybody else. It's just that you haven't quite mastered it yet because you haven't made it a habit. So do it for 21 days and see how it becomes a habit. If you don't place a limit on your self-control, you are less likely to exhaust yourself before meeting your goals. In short, it may be that our internal conceptions about willpower and self-control determine how much of them we have. If you can remove these subconscious obstacles and truly believe that you can do it, then you will give yourself an extra boost of motivation toward making those goals a reality. So you have got what it takes to remove the obstacles, to remove the temptations, to remove the distractions, and that's going to help you have more motivation to actually make your goal a reality. And number 6, this is the last one, you guys, and this is one's really, really important. Y'all, reward yourself. Did you ever do this since growing up? Like when you were studying for a test in school, like in college, I used to do this. Okay, if I can just get through 10 more pages of this, organic chemistry book, then I'm going to go for a walk. And that was a reward for me because I wanted to get outside and have fresh air. Or if I can just finish this much work and do this, then I'm going to go up to the sorority house to have some frozen yogurt. I don't know. I'm just saying reward yourself. Like that's what I used to do in college, and it would motivate me to get through the stuff I needed to get through so I could get that reward at the end. Y'all, we reward our children whenever they do things. I know you're not supposed to bribe, but I bribe my children. I always said I wouldn't do it, but you can betcha I do it because they need any motivation to help them do the right things. They get bribed. So bribe yourself in your doTERRA business. Give yourself something to be excited about by planning a reward when you accomplish your goals. Just like when you're a little kid, you got a treat for good behavior. Having something to look forward to gives you motivation to succeed. And anticipation is powerful. It gives you something to obsess over and focus on. So you're not only thinking of what you're trying to change. And when you achieve your goal, find a new goal and a new reward to keep yourself moving forward. So right now we're actually, in real life, we're actually rewarding my son with, oh, y'all, I can't believe we're doing this, but yesterday he would not get out of the car to go to school. He's just been having so much anxiety about this new school and transitions, and he's had some trauma happen lately. So we said, okay, if you'll just walk in and go to school all day, we'll take you to Chuck E. Cheese after. So he got to go to Chuck E. Cheese with his brother and dad last night after school just by going to school yesterday. And so all that to say is, and whether you agree or disagree with me on that, you don't know all the backstory, so no judgment. But anyway, it's what we did. All that to say is our kids get motivated by rewards. So why don't we as adults, like, reward yourself? I mean, I'm not saying it has to be food. It can be a walk. It can be I don't know, favorite TV show. I'm going to watch this whenever I do this much work. So just reward yourself, and that's going to help discipline you as well. All right. So does anybody have something that's worked for them with self-discipline? Like, I'd love to hear if anybody wants to share. I'm not going to go into, I'm going to have to do another call on cursing your business because we don't have time today. Sorry, I talked too long. But I promise if that was something you were looking forward to, you can just shoot me. I don't check my messages. Today I'll check my messages. Shoot me a Facebook message and I'll send you something that you can listen to right now in the meantime until I do that call. So will someone volunteer to speak up and kind of share like what has helped you in self-discipline and actually working your doTERRA business even when you don't feel like it? I'd love to hear from you guys and not just me talking. Anybody? I know y'all are self-disciplined. A lot of y'all are. Even if you're sitting here, oh, I don't really have it down pat. It's okay if you don't have it down pat. We're all a work in progress. Just share. All right, Kim, I know you are. Yeah, thank you.
All right, girl. So when I do my business, I like to do actionable things that I'm going to see a result with. So when I take actionable, like placing calls and trying to schedule classes, and then I'm successful at it, for me, I'm not really good at self-care, but for me, that end result is totally worth it because then I'm motivated the next time to do the same thing, those actionable things. So that's one thing. But I like to crunch it all up so then when my kids get home, I know I'm off work.
That's good. So what do you do when distractions come and like try to pull you, like maybe social media tries to pull you in and you're like, oh my gosh, I just spent 10 minutes looking at this. Does that ever happen to you?
Quite often. I did turn off the notifications on my phone. So I'm not getting Facebook like blings when people are commenting or responding to what I have. So I took that off. That's been super helpful, that and Instagram. I do like to go on airplane mode also, which helps me focus. Those are things. I also keep a list of activities that I like to do every single day to make sure that I can get through that list. And if I don't, it's obviously been a distracted day.
No, I like what you said, that you keep a list of things that you're going to do that day, because without a vision, the people perish. And so sometimes people just don't know what to do. And so then they're going to perish. Meaning their business isn't going to go very far because they don't know what to do. So what if the night before or that morning, all of us made a list of, okay, these are the 3 things I'm going to get done today. I mean, y'all, everybody can do the 3 things. And number 1, put the hardest thing, the thing that's going to take the most of your brain power, put that as number 1. And that's the one you're going to work on first, because imagine what you're going to feel like when you do that first thing, that number 1 that took the most brain power. Then you're going to have more motivation and confidence in doing number 2 and number 3. So how would your business be different if you just wrote down 3 things that you have to get done that day that's going to help your business, and you did 3 things every day rather than trying to do 100 things in one day, once in a blue moon? You know what I'm saying? That's a lot more easier. It's the daily consistent tasks that people do that become successful. It's not those people that don't work for a week and then on Friday or Monday they do 100 things. It doesn't work that way. It's the daily consistent habits that are going to make you successful in any business endeavor. And so 3 things, do the hardest first, and then do number 2 and number 3 and knock it out. And I want to tell you all this, especially in this distracted world, people are vying for your time and attention. I don't know about you, but I get a million texts, a million Facebook messages, a million emails. And if I were to do everything everybody else wanted me to do all day, every day, well, my business would just be stagnant. My family life would be blah. Like, there's just no way. There's not enough of me to do all that. So what you need to do, if you start doing this now, then by the time you're Presidential Diamond, you'll have it down pat, and you can still keep going on and on and on, is don't respond to people's emails first thing in the morning. Do not respond to people's Facebook messages. Do not respond to comments that you're tagged on in Facebook or Instagram. Do not do that first, because then you're giving everybody else your productive work hours when you could have spent that time actually doing income producing activities for your business. So what would your business look like if you decided, I'm going to turn my phone off for the second, or turn it on do not disturb, and I'm going to take an hour or 2 hours to do income producing activities today, And then I'm going to respond to people. And then I'm going to comment back or whatever. Because like I said, there's always going to be people screaming out to you. They need this, they need that, they need that. And you guys know that I'm all about having a servant's heart and helping other people, but not at the detriment of your family life and your own business, right? So I'm saying you still help other people. 9 times out of 10, when somebody's issue or question that they had, they'll have it resolved by the time you get back to them anyway. So they probably used Google and found the answer to that question. Not always. I know it's not, Google's not always the quick answer to a lot of things. But all I'm saying is you need to do what you need to get done first, because you only have so many hours in a day to be productive with your to-do list. So you do that first. And then when you're done with that, then you can respond to people, because to respond to people doesn't take as much brain activity. It doesn't take as much energy, but you need your good productive working hours, which for me is always in the morning when my mind is alert. I've had my caffeine. I'm going to do my activities. Then I literally schedule my day around the time that I work best for my business. So I schedule my appointments in the afternoon, because I'm kind of tired a little bit in the afternoon. So it doesn't require me to think and use my brain. So I can schedule, like I'm getting my eyebrows waxed this afternoon. I won't get it done in the morning, because in the morning is when this is my productive hours. This is when I need to be working. This is when I need to be growing my business. And so I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks that way, but if you don't think that way, start thinking that way. Like, afternoons tend to be more sluggish and tired. Schedule your appointments and things that don't require a lot of brain effort, like responding to people, in the afternoon, and schedule this takes more brain power in the morning, because we just know that we're always more productive in the mornings, unless you're.
And to add to that,
Yeah.
I would say figure out where you want to be and what you need for enrollment. So one thing that's motivated me was the Hawaii trip. So I don't know if you can see, but that has been on my vision board for 2 or 3 months. So I knew how many people I needed to continuously enroll. So it was actionable items, which meant enrollments, follow-up, LRP, and that's all I've done. So just get that goal in mind and what exactly you need to be doing to reach that goal. And then when you sit down at the day and you're like, answering texts, well, is that going to get me an enrollment? Maybe. It just depends on who you're texting with. So just remember where your vision is, what's going to get you what you want. And if it's answering everybody's ailment, likely it's not going to get you where you want. It's literally reaching out, doing those difficult things, sending a text, picking the phone up, all that stuff we don't want to do. That's painful, that when you do it, then you'll see yourself push forward.
Yeah, I agree. No, that's so good. So good. So yeah, so she was like, I'm going to Hawaii. So she's got her list, LRP, enrollments, all that, membership overviews. And so following up with people, because she knows what she wants. So just decide what you want and then break it down into steps that you need to take to get there. And yeah, I like what you shared, Laura. Yeah, just doing what you need to get done for your business first, and then respond to everybody else. They'll be okay if they wait a little while. I promise. I've learned that over 6 years, because yeah, you get to the point. I just don't want y'all to get to the point where you're at presidential diamond when it's literally impossible to respond to everybody, and you just feel burnout. Like, oh my gosh, I can't do it all. And you're spending a full-time job responding to people and not doing what you need to keep your cup filled and to help your business progress. I do my best. So if you ever message me, just know that I do my best, but there's just no way. But I love you guys all. I love you all. All right. So we'll do another call another day about your words and cursing your business or not. But thank you guys all for hopping on the call. Thanks for bearing with my tears and real life, because you all have real life stuff going on too that comes into your life, and we all go through different seasons. So, but anyway, I'm cheering you guys on, and have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.